Police and Alice webinar series. To introduce myself briefly, so I'm Marion Cottet, project manager at Alice. And we, Police and Alice, are delighted to have you here today to discuss the hot topic of urban space and how its mixed and dynamic use can be beneficial. To discuss this, we will have great speakers today from Disco and Unchained Project, as well as Amazon. And before I hand the microphone to my colleagues from Police, let me just shortly introduce Alice to you, in case you don't know it. So ALICE stands for Alliance for Logistics Innovation through Collaboration in Europe. It is a non-profit recognized by the European Commission as European Technology Platform, and it gathers more than 180 stakeholders from the European logistics and supply chain sectors, working towards zero-emission logistics by 2050, for which we published a roadmap. We also co-published with Police, a guide on urban logistics for cities and stakeholders to tackle the challenge at city level. Our work at ALICE is divided into 5 thematic groups that you have here on your screens that really feed our contribution to European projects and also others activities such as innovation uptake, policy monitoring, and engagement with our members. So this is a quick introduction of ALICE. Let me now hand over to my colleagues from Police for introduction of their network.
Thank you, Marion. Morning from me as well. I'm Melina Zaruka. I'm a cluster lead at Police, and I attend this webinar as project manager of Unchained. A bit on Police is the leading network of more than 100 European cities and regions working together to develop innovative technologies and policies for local transport. Through the network activities, we encourage and promote peer-to-peer exchange, and we support the exchange of experiences and the transfer of knowledge between European, local, and regional authorities. We follow policy and have a strong position advocating to the EU bodies. We strive to provide decision makers with the necessary information and tools for making sustainable mobility a reality. We also foster cooperation and partnerships across Europe with the aim of making research and innovation in transport accessible to cities and regions. That's why we actively support the participation of our members in EU-funded projects, and all this under the umbrella of the Sustainable Urban Mobility Innovation. Police members meet regularly in working groups to exchange best practices and share knowledge on sustainable mobility. All our working groups and task forces come under these main pillars, 5 in number: the access with the relevant working groups and task forces, the new introduced task forces of urban nodes and urban air mobility. Secondly, the active travel and health and air quality and clean vehicles working groups, the governance and integration where the urban freight activities take place, and safety and security and mobility and traffic efficiency clusters at the end. We collaborate with other networks, as Marion just mentioned, and my colleague Raffaele will talk you through the collaboration with ALICE and the webinar series that we organize.
Thank you very much, Marion and Melina, for the introduction. So as said, this is part of the renewed POLIS ALICE 2025 webinar series. So we try to every year to have engaging conversation and webinars in which we bring both stakeholders from the public and private sector to discuss and share also the latest innovation, best practices, measures, but also challenges related to urban logistics. So here for this first webinar of this year, so we will mention in particular talk about the urban space for city logistics and how this topic has been tackled also through several EU-funded projects. So from Disco and Unchained in particular, which are an ongoing Horizon Europe funded project, and we will hear more about 2 specific cities later on in this presentation, and also from practices also in Paris developed by Amazon Logistics in partnership with the local public authorities there. So here's the agenda of today. So you will, as mentioned, so we will hear 3 presentations. So from Vasilis Gianoudis from the CERT, and in particular with an overview of Thessaloniki use cases in Disco, so followed by Alessandra Barbieri from the Municipality of Florence, where also here we will hear from Unchained Project and what they are doing in the Italian city. And then from Joy Pasquet, so from Transport Strategy and Policy Lead, so hear about the micro hubs and bus depots and micro hubs in the Paris agglomeration. We'll also have the chance to hear more from the speakers, so in a panel discussion later on, and also for you the chance to make some questions to the speakers, so you can post them also in the chat here in the Zoom platform. And then just to wrap up, so we'll also show what are the next appointments in the pipeline from both Polis and Alice side. So without, as already mentioned, so the topic of today is urban space for city logistics. We know we're very much aware of space is scarce in urban areas, how the competition between several uses, housing, public life, logistics, transport is conflicting, and also more solutions are needed in this sense. Without any further ado, so I would like to invite on stage Vasilios Gianoudis from the Research Institute of Greece to introduce, as mentioned, the overview case of Disco in Thessaloniki. So Vasilis, over to you.
Thank you very much, Rafael.